I'm very, very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born.
Celebrity clone conspiracies, they go way back in time. There's one about Michael Jackson, there's one about Paul McCartney, also Britney Spears and Beyonce. Then there was a strange story about Avril Lavigne that has been circulating the web since 2005. Now, various websites, they report that she died in a car crash, and then she was replaced by a doppelganger originally named Melissa. Now, most of these conspiracy theories, well, they're stuck on stars of pop culture, but more recently, people have been questioning if a number of rappers have been cloned. Some are just theories, and others, well, they've been confessions.
I was cloned by cloneaid in Canada. My model number is 0112568.
The internet went a little crazy following Kid Buu's reveal that he was cloned, and whether you believe him or not, well, the big reveal has only increased his profile. With Google searches under Kid Buu, well, they've reached an all-time high. Regardless if you believe the hype or not, this has generated a lot of buzz for Kid Buu, and in today's world of social media stars generating a buzz, well, that's half the battle. Now, it actually got me thinking, if I had a clone of my own, well, I could produce a lot more content here on this channel. And apparently the cloneaid facility, well, it's located here in Canada. Now, I had plans to go and check out the facility, but interestingly enough, well, I found a quicker solution. I found myself a clone. I'm not even kidding. Check this kid out.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. I know you're probably wondering who this discount Michael McCrudden is on your screen and why his buttons are done up so high. Well, my name is Jeremy Heck, and I'll be guest hosting some Before They Were Famous episodes.
Yeah, that's Jeremy. I'm gonna tell you more about him and how he's gonna be helping me out with this channel a little later in this video. But for now, let's jump into top 5 rapper clones. My name is Michael McCrudden. Here we go. First off, in the number 5 spot, we have Generis. This Bay Area artist has been dropping songs on SoundCloud for a little over a year now. His track Now, featuring Lil Skies, became a viral hit with almost 8 million streams at the time of this recording. The music video sits at 1.4 million views, but his recent post to Instagram, well, that's what really caught my attention.
So lately there's been a lot of cloning going on in the music industry. And I've been trying to keep it a secret, but since y'all showing it, I might as well do the same. We got the same genetics, same hair, same everything.
So obviously this kid is just trolling, but good for him. It got him a follow from me on Instagram, and it landed him on this list. Now clearly the video was a spoof on the Clone King, which brings us to the number 4 spot. I'm talking about Kid Buu. By now everyone has seen some version of Kid Buu's DJ Vlad interview where he talked about his time at cloneaid in Canada. He gave us his ID number and he talked about escaping with some documents. Now all this was a little strange. It became a big viral news story, and then a million exposed videos they would follow. Now stirring up controversy, Kid Buu, he then got to work to make even more videos. And this one, well, it got a lot of people talking once again.
Yo, come over here. Sure you want me to do this? Yeah, that shit, go ahead. What y'all gotta say now?
Then there was this video made where he showed us his clone, well, meal prep. Then he actually took his boys to the cloneaid facility. So he says,
You don't have this, you can't go on Yard. You can't use the internet.
But he was like, one more thing.
bro, you was in Canada and you didn't even give me a call? Now regardless if you believe Kid Buu or not, you must admit this guy's pretty entertaining. He also gets bonus points for pushing things as far as he has. He's got his boys like helping him out. He's got name tags printed out. He's got uniforms. And if you take the time to actually hear his story, well, it's a very elaborate one. He's very convincing. The dude has done his research. It's like about a cult and, well, they've been doing this stuff since 2002. Check out this video I found.
We started really to work with human eggs in January of this year. So it took us 3 months to finalize.
Like I said, this clone thing, it's gotten out of control and it's made others jump on the bandwagon. Even Trippie Redd, well, he took to IG Live announcing that he too was a clone.
Yeah, I'm a 3rd gen though. Both my 1st and 2nd gen was f***ing up.
My 1st gen was up, bro, doing crazy shit. All kind of crazy shit.
All right, Trippie was like a bonus round. Let's move on to number 3. Here we have Kodak Black. Okay, this story is pretty far-fetched, but there are literally hundreds of videos on this topic. Kodak Black, he disappeared from social media for an extended 7 months, and this is because he was doing some time in jail. Now, upon his release, well, he began acting like an entirely different person. He even looked different.
A lot of people believe that Kodak Black has been replaced. In the video of his release, he appears to have a different build, as well as missing his face tattoos.
Further fanning the flames, Kodak, he took to Twitter admitting that he was a clone. Well, kind of. He tweeted, "I've been out 5 days and only spoke to one female, which was Madukes. Hashtag I'm a clone." Some of the charges Kodak was facing meant he had to turn over a new leaf and he needed to start behaving himself. You know, if he wanted to keep rapping and not spend the rest of his life in jail. Now these days he does make an appearance as a more refined artist, but other times he seems like he's back to his old ways. And then there are times he throws people for a curveball when he posts videos like this.
Look at me, hey! I don't stay in the projects anymore, I'm not a project baby anymore, I'm a suburbs kid. I'm a suburban.
A lot of people compare him to Gucci Mane, which brings us to the number 2 spot. Gucci Mane and the Clone Wars. This was everywhere. When I said there were hundreds of videos on Kodak Black being a clone, well, there's thousands when it comes to Guap. And things, they got so out of control, he even had to sit down with the press, and he did an interview regarding his clone with GQ magazine and Fader.
So it's funny, I embrace it. It just let me know a clone is like perfection. So if I look like a machine or a robot, then evidently I'm doing something well.
Gucci Mane certainly went through a major transformation. He went to prison weighing 50 pounds more than we see him with today. He also got off drugs, including a heavy addiction to lean. He also got on a strict diet, and he started working out heavily. He also got married. A lady will do that for you. She'll really help you get your shit together. Now with him going through such an epic transformation, everyone was talking about him being a clone. To me, he looks more like LeBron James, or like a clone of LeBron. Definitely doesn't look like the old Guap. Anyway, the man's happy, he's healthy, and I'm very happy to see it. Then moving on to the number 1 spot, there are plenty of other rappers I could include. Eminem, he's got a few conspiracy theories about him being a clone as well, but instead of doing that, I'm gonna take this time to introduce you guys to Jeremy. Now you guys know I put a lot of work into this channel, and to keep the quality content coming, well, I need to enlist some help of a co-host. And if you're a fan of what I do here, well, I think you're gonna enjoy what Jeremy has to offer. So check out this video he put together for you guys. The kid put in a lot of work.
I thought I would give you a little bio on myself so we can get to know each other better. This is before they were hosting, before they were famous. Wait, what? I was born a baby in Winnipeg, Canada on June 11th, 1994. And for those of you who don't know where that is, I'll answer your number 1 question. It's not that close to Toronto. I'm about my business, not one for the silly games. I was born to win, I even got it in my city's name. When I was 8 years old, I would write raps, hide them in my drawer, too embarrassed to recite that. At 16, I went on YouTube to spit bars, soft looking white kid, but on the track I hit hard. Knew whether on TV or with music, I would make it risks I had to take, cause on the other side of fear is greatness. If you're wondering, why is this guy rapping at me? Well, for 4 years, I would drop remixes and original tracks on my YouTube page. My cover of Eminem's Mockingbird was even sitting at 100,000 views at one point, and that was a song that I wrote for my grandmother who passed away. One of the most inspiring moments in my music career and my entire life in general was when someone told me that a song I wrote saved their life when they were gonna commit suicide. And that's still crazy to me. In January of 2016, I started doing phone interviews for a hip-hop magazine in New York called Respect, which is owned by hip-hop legend Elliott Wilson. I interviewed guys like Cousin Stiz, Mike Stud, Marky Basie, and Demrick, and to be honest, I don't think I ever sent that interview to the editor there, so I'm sorry guys. I decided to move to Los Angeles to pursue my dream of working in the music business. I took the J. Cole route of going to college, and I received a scholarship. I even took out a bunch of student loans so I could attend the University of Southern California, where I studied my master's in strategic public relations and marketing. I was still writing raps, and at Complex Con in LA, I got the courage to rap for the legendary Dipset king, Cameron, who thought the bars were so dope that he even invited me to a studio session that never actually happened. So Killer Cam, if you're watching this, I'm still ready to go, okay? Put me in, bring me to the studio, and we're gonna make some music.
Then you talk about me that you have, you should hold those. Only time I'm posting this for Instagram photos, yeah. So they taking the pic. I'm only me, never faking a bit. I know people used to hate before they knew me, but it's getting really hard to hate. Not me. Listen to the flow though, yeah.
You're pretty dope, man.
Thank you.
In September of 2016, less than 3 weeks after moving to LA, and after scrolling past multiple thirst traps on Insta, I came across a post by Power 106 Radio that they were hosting a charity basketball game less than 2 minutes away from USC at the Galen Center gym. By the time I got there, it was half over, so I scalped a ticket for $5 and made it my goal to meet morning show host from the Cruise Show on Power 106, Jay Cruz. I waited until half hour after the game was over. All the lights in the building were out, and the security guards were all not looking. So I snuck past security, and I met Cruz, and I asked him for advice on being the best interviewer I could be.
It was pretty much empty. Everyone had left, and you were the only person standing there waiting to talk to me, of all people. God bless you. And I remember what you said. You were like, yo, I just want to learn. I just want to observe, and I want to grow, man, and I think you're the person to help me out. And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
When I asked him for advice, he said,
and you said, say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And you said basically, every opportunity that comes your way, you gotta say yes to.
Cruz ended up becoming a mentor of mine and offered me an official internship at the station. Of course, I said yes.
Short time after that, you became our intern, and then after that, I mean, you were doing so much for us, and it was tough to see you go, you know what I mean? It's always tough to see interns go, but it's tough to see interns like you go, who want to go the extra mile, who are so in tune and just want to help, and you want to make sure everything is right, and you're writing notes for me for interviews and stuff like that. And that's another thing, you should get a lot of credit for that as well. I'm grateful for interns like you, who take initiative, and you're part of the culture, you bleed the culture, so and you helped me out tremendously, bro, so thank you.
I would create interview questions and notes that they would use for the morning show. On the first day of my internship, Migos were in the studio right after Bad and Bougie went #1 in the country. Now, I'm not usually one to smoke, but when Huncho, Quavo, tells a member of his crew, pass Canada the blunt, and looked me directly in the eyes, I wasn't gonna let down my entire country. So on the first day of the most important job of my life that could potentially set me up for long-term career success, not only am I extremely nervous, but I'm also paranoid that everyone in the room is looking at me and that I'm gonna get fired. I did not get fired, in fact, and through the experience I got to talk to some of my idols who I actually grew up listening to.
I know you guys talked about the first song on your album being kind of like stepping into the car and driving on the highway and going on some type of journey. So I was wondering if your career, if you see that as, your first album, you were stepping into the car, you're going on the highway, where's the final destination?
And I even had the opportunity to talk to Mac Miller before he passed away. R.I.P. to the legend. After 2 years at Power, the opportunity came up to help out with red carpet events, and I jumped on it. I got to interview some amazing people from Ty Dolla $ign to MGK.
Now that you got a little bit of money in your account, have you ever thought about changing the Ty Dolla $ign to Ty Dollar Signs and making it plural? You got a Subway sandwich after you got your first deal.
Which no sandwich?
Dude,
Wait, I know that.
Yeah, I know that.
And even the Fresh Prince himself, Hitch, Will Smith.
If aliens came to Earth, do you think it would end racism, sexism, classism, just because there'd be a common enemy?
Yeah, so anytime you have a bigger common enemy, people come together. You'll be fighting, and then somebody that's about to hurt you both come and say, hey man, we should cool out for a second. We should probably handle that.
After finishing up at Power, I decided to start my own interview series, where I would cold email people with the goal of giving them their best interview ever. Inspired by guys like Nardwuar and Michael, who do insanely in-depth research.
Did Scott Pilgrim change your world?
Oh yeah, because that was what I was watching. Man, you're like Nardwuar right now.
Had to do my research.
Yeah, you got Nardwuar information. Right.
I wanted artists to feel like I not only knew them, but I wanted to get a new perspective on life for their fans.
What's been the biggest inspiration in your life for writing comedy?
This is the best interview ever.
One of my first interviews ever featured Michael McCrudden.
So you did some digging, man. You're like a before they were famous guy yourself.
You're the best at this. I have to be at least like close.
And I guess I did something right, because I received an email from his manager a few months later asking me to be a guest host on Before They Were Famous. And once again, I said yes. I'm really excited about this opportunity because this show does such a good job of showing the whole story of someone, from being a kid in their bedroom to being a star on the world stage. And as a kid, I was so inspired by watching these interviews and seeing how people made it. So through this show, I'm hoping I can inspire the kid out there who's looking for a way to do it themselves. As for the rest of the story, well, you know the story because this is before they were hosting, before they were famous. But on the real, I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys, and feel free to let me know in the comments who you want me to cover on the show in the future. You can also follow me on Insta and Twitter at Jeremy_Hecht, where you can roast me on my outfit and let me know that you thought my haircut looked weird. I'll sign off with something that has inspired me through a lot of my life and career, and a saying that I came up with while I was on the toilet in the 12th grade. Dream good, live better. I'm Jeremy Hecht, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys soon.
Alright guys, thanks for checking out this entire video. Jeremy actually lives in LA. It's going to be a lot of help because he can do more interviews, we can have him go to events, and we can keep this channel lit! Jeremy, thanks a lot. I'm really excited about this. It's going to be very cool. Of course, you guys already know my name is Bikeable Crud, and let me know if you want me to make another follow-up video. We include Eminem, also Wiz Khalifa. There was a whole list of clone conspiracies about every rapper out there. It's pretty ridiculous. Anyway, let us know who's next in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in another video. Boom! I got a clone! He's like me, but he's younger. He's also less goo-uppy. Whatever. I'm excited.